Hello and welcome back to our top 10 overview. We're going to talk a little bit about peppermint now. Peppermint oil is very refreshing. So, I use this several times a day. It's an awesome oil to keep you awake, not alive, keep you awake and rejuvenated during the day. So, many of you who came to a class have already experienced peppermint because we do this at every class. But I'm going to do it here. So if you put one drop in your hand, rub it around, and just take a deep breath. And you can feel it just opening up your airways, and your lungs get open up too. And it allows, it feels so good, wakes me up. It allows more oxygen to get to your brain, which in turn wakes you up and rejuvenates you. So some of the key properties of peppermint oil, I'm actually going to read again from my awesome Essential Life book. So it is anti-inflammatory, antispasmodic, it's warming and cooling, it's invigorating, it's an expectorant, it's a vasoconstrictor, and it's stimulating. So awesome properties to peppermint oil. So some things that peppermint is really good for is headaches and migraines. So you can put a little bit over the top of your head, rub it on your temples. You can actually put it behind your ears, which is another really good place to apply oils for tension headaches. Or that tiny little divot you have in the back of your head. Just rub a little bit of oil there, or on just, the back of your neck in general will help just really soothe those muscles. It's also really good for bad breath. So I drink my cup of coffee in the morning on the way to school, and if I don't have peppermint beadlets with me, and some of you may not have peppermint beadlets depending on what kit you started with, but some of you may, they're just tiny little beadlets that have a quarter drop of peppermint with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil, and there's tiny little beadlets. And you pop them in your mouth, and holy moly, it's a mint explosion in your mouth. It's so nice. But if I don't have that with me, then I take the peppermint and I put a drop on the end of my thumb. I'll just put it in the roof of my mouth like that, and that's enough to freshen my breath, and also helps wake me up and keep me awake too. It's also really good for asthma and sinusitis. Can't say that either. You can apply it just topically to your chest. If you are putting it on your child, or if you have sensitive skin, then mix it with that fractionated coconut oil and then rub it on, because it may be a little too cooling for a little one's body. I know my son is really sensitive to it, so we definitely always dilute with children anyway, but there's been a couple of times where I'm like, oh, just put this on, and he'll be like, Mom, and we'll just rub the coconut oil over the top of it, and it dilutes right on his skin. So don't be worried if you forget sometimes. You can always dilute after the fact. If you've put an oil on that feels not comfortable, or a little too cooling, a little too warm, just take that fractionated coconut oil, or any fatty oil will work. When I first started, I didn't have the fractionated coconut oil yet, and so I gave my husband an awesome massage with one of the oils called Deep Blue, which we'll talk about, right before bed, and went to sleep, or laid down, and rubbed my eye. Well, that didn't feel so great in my eye, so I'm like, oh, they talked about this at class, and they said rub an oil around it and it will go away, and all I had was olive oil in the house. So my husband ran downstairs, got some olive oil, and I literally just rubbed it around my eye, not in my eye, just around my eye, and it diluted the effects of the oil right on my skin. So yes, I used cooking oil, but that's all I had, so it's a little greasier than what I would recommend, but it worked. So any fatty oil will technically do. One thing that I found interesting in the peppermint oil page was that you can actually use it for somebody who's had a loss of sense of smell. So even though they're not able to smell the oil, they're still going to get the effects of it. So it says to do that, to inhale deeply. I would suggest doing that maybe 5 times, a couple times a day, and also to apply it topically over the bridge of the nose. And it's most likely not going to have instant effects, but if you continue doing it, I can't come up with the words I'm trying to come up with. If you do it on a consistent basis, then that's where the body will start helping the body work with itself to repair whatever the issue is with that. So it's also great for digestive discomfort. So there's another oil we'll be talking about called Digest Zen, which is a blend of oils for digestive things, but peppermint oil in itself is very, very calming and soothing to the digestive system. So there's been several times where I'll feel a little off during the day, and I'll put a drop of oil in my water bottle. So one thing about putting oils in water bottles is just make sure your water bottle is not plastic. Oils are made to be nature's defense mechanisms. So, if a plant had chemicals that plastics are made out of, if the plant was inundated with chemicals, its natural defense would be to get that out. And so what it does when you put it in a water bottle, a plastic water bottle, is it'll actually start kind of eating away at the plastic and leaching the plastic into your water, and then you'll be drinking that. So recommended to use a stainless steel or glass water bottle whenever you use your oils. And I had a friend who took her old plastic water bottle and put 5 drops of lemon oil in her water bottle just to see what would happen, and the thing literally melted after a day and a half. So neat science experiment. However, don't try it if you're actually going to drink the water. Other things that peppermint is good for: alertness, which we've talked about. Also really, really great for fevers and hot flashes. And so, when our kids get sick or we get sick and we get a fever, that's actually the body's natural defense to get rid of whatever's going on. And so when we run to the Tylenol, the Advil to control that fever, we're not giving the body time to do its job. And obviously if the fever is getting into the scary range, that's another whole ball game. But if you are hovering at a low-grade fever, let the body do what it wants to do. But support the body, because it's not comfortable to have a fever. You have the hot flashes, you have the chills. And so what we do when we have a fever, or my son has a fever, is we've made a little roller bottle, which I don't have here with me right now, but we rub it up and down his spine, and we'll also put it across his forehead. And, he'll ask for it maybe half an hour later, say, "Mommy, can you do that again?" And it just helps with the comfort of when you're having to deal with that situation. And same with hot flashes. So my cousin got married this past summer, and I brought get married in the summer on the beach. It's going to be a little warm, so I brought my peppermint roller bottle. And she has used that for her hot flashes and things like that. And we've also, one more story, we were hiking, my husband and I were hiking, and he gets really, really hot really, really quickly. And so we got to the top of the mountain, and he looked like he was melting. And so I actually didn't have any of this with me. I had the peppermint beadlets with me. So I took it and I popped it down his spine, and he was almost immediate. He's like, "That is awesome. You need to bring this on every hike." That was so cool, because it cooled his core temperature down and allowed him to be a human again. So, all right, we are also, we are going to work on cravings. So if you're having cravings, this is a really good thing to sip on, or do the thumb trick. Also really great for allergies and hives. It says you can take internally in a capsule with water, or apply topically under your nose or on the bottom of your feet. One more little tangent. Peppermint oil. So peppermint, lavender, and lemon, those three, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, together are a natural antihistamine. So what we'll do is we'll diffuse it, because my husband has severe allergies. When everything starts budding and is beautiful, he's dying. But we'll diffuse 2 drops of each in our diffuser, but we'll also have him take 2 drops of each in a little veggie capsule. So dōTERRA makes these little empty pill capsules that you can put your oils in and take them internally. And so he'll put 2 drops of each in his little empty capsule and drink it down with some water, and he'll be able to function during the day. Within 5 minutes, he is able to breathe again, and the itchy redness and swelling around his eyes already is going down. So that's what we do. dōTERRA makes a pre-made gel cap. called Tri-Ease that is 2 drops of each already pre-made if you don't really want to play with your oil, play with the oils in that way and just have it be convenient and already pre-made for you. But if you already have the lemon, lavender, and peppermint, there's some other ways to do it. That's pretty much the overall of peppermint. So there is our second oil of the day. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found that helpful, and happy experimenting with your oils.